What's going on, YouTubers? How are you doing? You know, we're waiting for our Facebook family to come online. I think they're almost here. So let's go ahead and bring them on. All right, so today's video, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Facebook, YouTube, everybody in between. I appreciate you being here for our daily motivational mix, Monday through Friday. I appreciate you. My name is DeMarcus. I'm here for this. So I want to go ahead and give you the title. Today's title is the flower versus the root. And so I want to kind of take this to a whole different place, because it was actually, once again, I got this from a little thing that TD Jakes was talking about, which is very important. And so I want you to think about something. Whenever we give somebody a flower, okay, what we're giving them is we're giving them the product of what has been grown in the ground, okay? The root, it starts off as a seed. The seed grows roots, and the roots grow a tree trunk or maybe a base of some sort. And then it grows into plants and flowers, and we always focus on the flower. Like, you'll say, oh, look at the pretty flowers, or oh, look at the pretty leaves on that tree. But how many people actually say, look at the root, or look at the tree trunk, or look at the branches? Because that's not the pretty part, right? That's not the part of the tree that is the most aesthetically pleasing. What's going on is that we are so focused on the product of what has become, without the trunk itself of the tree and the roots sapping and giving water and nutrients and giving all of the essence of life to this actual leaf and to the actual flower, then nothing ever grows. So how many people before they perish, right? Now, why is it? Why is it that the flowers always seem to perish? Well, the flowers are perishing because they're no longer connected to what has been giving it life. So we have a tendency to put ourselves in situations that we're going to grow and just be powerful. And then all of a sudden we bloom and we have these amazing trees, and with these leaves in our lives, and we have these beautiful flowers, and we're producing these awesome fruits, right? And as soon as we get there, we forget that the only reason we got there is because of our roots were grounded in the right way. And then we take it and we get these flowers, and these flowers are blooming and they're beautiful. And the first thing we do is we disconnect the flower from the root. And what we're actually doing is, because we're no longer feeding nutrients to it the way it needs to be fed, we could put it in water, we could try all these different things, but it won't live as long as it would had it been attached to the plant itself. Is when we disconnect from what got us to where we are, that we realize that, wait a second, I no longer am receiving the nurturing from whatever grew me to this level any longer. But instead, as I disconnected from it, now I will perish in it. I'll perish. All the goodness that I had will stay pretty for a while. Every flower stays pretty for a little bit before it dies. And the reason for it is because the flower has already been produced. So we're looking at the flower as the final result, and we pick it and we pluck it, and we look at the final result and it's gorgeous. But after a while, when that final result is no longer being fed what it needs to grow, what it needed to grow has been disconnected from it. When that flower is disconnected, it will die. And things in our lives that we receive, that we put all this positivity into and this energy into and our essence of life into to grow it, as soon as we get the results and we take the result away from the energy we're putting into it, like we get the result, we already got this car. I worked my butt off to get this car, and now I got this car and I'm driving it, but I'm no longer doing the things that I was doing at first to feed the essence to make me be able to drive or to get this car. What we're actually doing in all reality is, as soon as we get the car, as soon as we stop putting in that same work ethic that got us there, now all of a sudden the car becomes a burden. It's no longer something powerful. And I mean, there's many different, situations I can go into, but just what I want you to think about is that we admire the flower, but we forget the roots in the trunk. And the roots in the trunk got the flower to where it is. So don't forget, and the stem and everything else, by the way. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that your root has purpose. And that's why I'm always telling you to put the right things in your body. So once again, I'm gonna flash some of the books I'm gonna be reading. These are what are feeding your flower. If your flower is being fed by junk, maybe it's other people's opinions, maybe it's the news, maybe it's just bad people in general, then your flower is not going to be very pretty. But if you're reading and you're putting in the right things, you're going to yield a beautiful crop that's going to help somebody else to realize that their crop is just as important and that they can feed into it too. And that's all I want to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, today. Is just remember your roots. Your root will give you life. Remember your tree trunk. It supports your life. Don't just focus on the plant and the flower. That's important, yes. That's the final product. But there was a whole lot that went into everything else to get it to that level. And don't disconnect from your source, whether it be God, whether it be the books you read, whether it be a combination of a lot of things. Don't disconnect from what made you powerful in the first place. Don't disconnect from what made your flower bloom, but instead indulge in what made your flower bloom, and you'll notice that you'll see a whole lot more flowers and they'll be a whole lot bigger. And so that's all I wanted to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just focus on the result. Keep in mind that journey is just as important as you go through. And that's all I want. So ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic day. Happy Monday to you. Let's get through this week. As a team, we deserve each other. Remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. And thank you for being here today. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, the root may not be pretty. Because actually, if you want to pay attention to it, the root's dirty. When you pull that root up, it's dirty as all get out. It's not clean like that flower is. That root had to go through something. You're part of the root. You're going through something. And that you're building up that essence of what is necessary. You know, by getting and grabbing into that dirt and getting yourself dirty, what you're actually doing is you're actually building character. You're building all these different pieces. You're building strength to build up to that next level. And so don't knock the dirt that your roots are in. I mean, obviously, you know, the root of a tree is not pretty. You know, the base of a tree is not pretty. But if you lean on it, let's say you want to lean on it, that tree's sturdy. And that's because it's been built to withstand some things. You know, we're putting in a lot. And that's why, if you notice, when a tree grows, it grows this way too. Not just always out this way. But that base has to get stronger to support those leaves. And as you grow and your life becomes more and more powerful and you want more and more success, you're going to need a stronger tree trunk. You're going to need a stronger flower stem. Because I think about it like this. If you want to be as magnificent as a tree, that little bitty flower stem is not going to support you. If you want to be as magnificent as a tree, having the roots of a flower is not going to support that. So instead, you got to grow those roots down deep. You got to grow that trunk out wide so it can support the magnitude of what you're trying to do. And that's all I have. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a fantastic day. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. I love you. I believe in you. Just in case nobody says it. But hey, we got some things to do. So, anybody wants to, we have book club tonight. It is at Leo's Pub and Grill. Yes, that's all I have for you. And we'll talk to you soon. Starts at 8 o'clock. Make it when you can. We'd love to have you. Whether you read the book or not, we'd love to have you for our conversations. Talk to you soon. Happy Monday.